networking. So when we talk about networking, what do we think about? Well, we've got several different types of networking. We've got social networking. We've got computer networking. We've got telephone networking. But what we're really interested in here is the computer networking. And this is a basic computer network using cable TV and Ethernet to connect to the internet. But what's really important is this part here. Okay, usually in a what we call a local area network, and I'll define these terms pretty soon, but we will have something like this. This is actually a modem, but something like a switch, or yeah, basically a switch connecting these two, and we'll talk about that a little while later. But we'll have a switch connecting all of these, usually Ethernet connections together to form a network, or you can actually have a hub. But so we'll go over that right quick. A switch basically connects computers together on different circuits, is basically what goes on. A hub is just one circuit. So with a switch, you've got different bandwidth for each connection. You've got 100 megabits or 10 megabits or gigabits or whatever is being used at that time. With a hub, you've only got a 10 megabit shared bandwidth. So if you have 10 computers connected together, then you've only got 1 megabit per computer. Not to mention that, okay, well, let's go over duplex. Duplex, you have these guys here, right? So let's pretend that they're connected right here between the two. Full duplex, these guys would be able to send and receive to each other at the same time in full duplex. Okay, so this guy can send and this guy can send at the same time, and they can both receive what was sent. Okay, but in half duplex, you can only send and receive either or. You can't do this both at the same time, or else you're going to have what's called a collision. Okay, so this guy sends, he says, hey, I've got a file for you, and this guy says, okay, well, send it to me and I'll sit here and listen to it. So this guy sends his file, but this guy's like, oh wait, I have a file too, or I want you to run a check on this file to see if it's good. Well, that's too bad, because this guy is sending and he's can't send. But if you have full duplex, this guy can send, hey, I have a file. Okay, we'll send it over. Okay, well, let's send, this file over. But wait, I didn't get this part. Oh, okay, that's good. I'll send this part back over to you at the same time, and you can keep telling me, how the file looks. So we get this circular kind of ring, basically, is what it is. So yeah, there's that. That's general networking. Let's talk a little bit about how this happens. Let me see if I can. Well, I'll talk about that in a little while, or I'll show you in a little while. But basically, these guys communicate over electrical signals. So over these Ethernet cables, usually it can be something like a coax cable or fiber optic, which basically fiber optic just they convert electrical signals into light signals and then back to electrical signals. It's a whole lot faster though, and it's got more bandwidth. But anyway, electrical signals. I'm not too savvy on the electrical part just yet, but they use a series of voltages, positive and negative, to communicate ones and zeros. Okay, so if the voltage is on, it's a 1. If the voltage is off, let's pretend there's a little graph of the electrical signals in this space here. Okay, so it would look like this. This would be a 0, and then up is a 1, and then down is a 0, and then up is a 1, and for a longer period of time is another 1, and then down is a 0. So it goes something like that. Now these computers can, or the communications cards in these computers can relay and or decipher and relay these signals to the computer's circuit board or motherboard and central processor. So they get these ones and or these voltages, and they convert them into ones and zeros inside the computer and tell the computer what's going on. Now, gigabit. This is the basic method for Ethernet, except for gigabit Ethernet, and I'm not sure exactly how that works. I'll look it up and cover that in another video. But gigabit Ethernet apparently has different power states. Basically, this means that one can be, let's say that this distance here is 10 volts. I'm just making this up. It's arbitrary. I don't actually know what it is, but basically this would be one power state, and then like 7.5 volts would be another power state, and then 5 volts would be another power state, or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to research that a little bit more and get back to you with that. But this is the basics of networking.